Can you see me?
What's up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Sarlacc Digest, a podcast bringing line talk and digesting Star Wars topics over 1,000 years. This is episode 111, being recorded on May 17th, 2021. I couldn't do it with a straight face. I couldn't do it.
You were so close.
Oh my God.
Oh.
All right, that was for you, Mando Mike.
That was for you, Mando Mike. What's inside Moocher's beard? Well, it was the vintage Bosk figure. If you got that, circle gets a square.
That's a new segment on the show. What's in Mooch's beard?
Yes. And Chris is wearing a hat today.
Yes,
so,
I am.
again,
So
circle
whoever
gets
said.
another square.
Boom.
I am your host, Darth Butcher, and I'm joined here with Chris.
Hello.
I'm joined here with Scott Solo.
What's up, nerds?
And Bootleg Joe is here with us.
Yes.
Yes. Mike is working, and Ernie's on his vacation. So, the Pit is here with us. Before we introduce them, we have our Patreons to shout out.
That's right. Our patrons, we've got Gavin Connor, Donald Sulsky, Rebels and Lions, that's Crystal M. Fear, Brandon Epler, AJ Herrera, and no Dora still. I don't know what's up with Dora.
It's still being worked out.
What's up with that?
I know. I go,
You guys under contract negotiations?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
I'm just going
I
to
think
steal
so.
money.
But we've got both Brandon and Gavin in the chat tonight.
Awesome.
So
Awesome.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. Who else is in the pit with us?
We've got Cliff. We have got Gordon Santo1414, who, again, thank you so much for that Firefly. I'm going to thank him every show.
Absolutely.
Bootleg Joe, plus many more that
Awesome.
are not saying anything yet.
Cool. Of course, we're here on a Monday. Of course, we switched to Monday, so spread the word if anybody is missing out on our shows. But we got a little bit of news I want to kind of address real fast. Remember all those times I was like, we're like 400 something days of celebration? Well, we've got a date now. So we are 373 days away because on May 26th through the 29th, celebration is officially announced for next year in Anaheim.
Yeah.
And just to ease everybody's minds, because I've been getting hit up like through text messages from other people who have gotten tickets. If you had tickets and you didn't do anything, don't worry. They're going to transfer over for you're good, basically. For whatever you bought, though. You're not gaining any days. You're not losing days. You're gaining the days that you had bought for. I believe same thing goes for that Disneyland preview night on Thursday. If you had bought tickets for that, too, it'll carry over if they do something that Thursday. But again, if you don't do anything, you're good. If not, you can go to, I think, Star Wars Celebration and cancel and get your full refund. So
Who would do that?
Mike.
Yeah.
Madness.
Mike.
You know what? That is kind of weird though, because they're really assuming that we'll be full capacity by then. Is that the plan? Is full 100%?
Yeah.
Good. Cool.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hope
yeah.
so. I mean, I hope so. Obviously,
I
we'll
do
go back
too.
to that quick, but
No,
all
I
right,
do
cool.
too, man. I think
Or I guess it's the whole year.
if the winter doesn't screw everything up, right? That's the whole
I guess
thing.
that's
So,
the whole thing.
but yeah.
Also, in our chat, Mando Mike, I'm just messing with him right now. So he's in there, too. And so did Toying Around just joined us as well.
Oh,
so.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we had that, and then of course we had a couple cool announcements from the Legacy Saber department. The Dark Saber is coming. I think we all saw that coming. I think it was rumored before, right? As
Well,
announced?
It looks awesome.
Yeah.
They had the Force Effects Black Saber, Black Series Dark Saber
Yeah.
Right.
on pre-order, and I pre-ordered that thing months ago. But I wasn't expecting this because it's a whole new apparatus for the blade. It's a completely different blade that it comes with.
Right.
It's super cool.
Yeah. See, you went and you got the new Rey and the Leia
I
Saber,
did.
correct?
I got the Rey Saber,
Yeah.
which is very cool. Unfortunately, the activator is not this round piece up here.
Right.
There's a little switch there that makes it activate. And you unfortunately got to pull the little pieces out.
You're like,
right
hold
here.
on.
Exactly.
I never remember Rey
Demonstration.
doing that. She's like, hold on. let me do
Yeah,
this.
that's not what happened in the show.
I know, but it's really cool. And then
That's
I picked
cool.
up the Leia Saber.
I know there
which
was some
so-
concerns about the Leia Saber in the pictures, but now that you have it in your hand,
It looked very plasticky before.
yeah,
It did. It looked horrible. And I actually, we were there at Doc Ondar's, my wife and I was looking at it. I'm like, I don't like that at all, just based on what I was seeing in the case. And I
Right.
asked to see it, and they handed it to me, and I'm like, oh, Okay, once you actually have it in your hand, it is solid metal,
Awesome.
and it's got this really nice rose gold shine to it, and this little pearl inlays right there. It's really cool.
You could see Han going to buy it for, and they're like, "What kind of saber do you want?" He's all, maybe the rose gold. That looks like
Yeah.
With some pearl, exactly.
You had
With
some
some
input
pearl.
into it. That's great.
Yeah.
right.
So it's really cool. In order to put
Why'd
the
you give
blade
me
on,
rose gold?
Right. Yeah, Leia
You
wouldn't
gotta
like
take-
it.
like the Luke saber, though, you got to take the whole top of it off and put the different tip on it in
Gotcha.
order to put the blade in. But I won't do that till y'all right
Oh,
now.
I got you. It's got a stationary. Okay, because of the fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A
And
different
it looks,
top.
Right.
It looks terrible with the other top in, though.
Yeah.
It really does look awful.
Yeah.
So I plan on keeping it like this.
So
And then,
Yeah.
just so you're all aware, if any of you are going to Disneyland, they've also got at Savvy's, where you build a saber, you can now pick up scrap metal, which
Yeah.
means it's $25 per piece of scrap, and it takes 5 pieces to build a lightsaber. And
Smart.
if you build a lightsaber, it's $250.
Right. the experience
but-
and all that. Yeah.
Exactly. I had an extra core, one of the chassis that I picked up on eBay. So I just went and I dropped $100 and built myself a second saber.
Got your
So,
High Republic saber there.
got my High Republic saber.
For sure.
Yeah, it looks great,
Badass.
man.
So-
It does look great. Yeah, I want to go. Like you said, one variation piece through the sabers that we built. One variation can. I mean, now you're talking unique,
Yeah.
right?
So they used to do the scrap metal in the beginning, but they ran out of parts too fast, right? So they stopped
Correct.
taking that. So since this whole COVID thing went down, they weren't selling any.
Mhm.
Right.
So you have this big surplus of pieces, so they're going to go ahead and sell scrap metal again.
Yeah.
And I was afraid they were only going to sell, maybe a piece or two. And I said, so if I wanted to build an entire saber, is it cool to buy all 5 pieces? And they said, just point
Wow.
at what you want. So you can mix and match. You can do a completely unique saber. It's a very cool,
That's cool.
experience.
Yeah, that's one thing I do want to get. Just a couple little pieces, because again, you have your themed out saber, right? But and you have so many combinations of that theme. Now, like I said, adding one piece into that just throws the whole off the spectrum, and I love it. I think
Yeah.
they should have done that from the beginning, and hopefully that does carry over. But I'm going to consider this a limited time thing,
Probably.
Until they catch back up on supply. When it gets back down to where it's
Yeah,
not.
because I think they should be
it's
doing
not
this the whole time.
full
anyway.
again. They're not going to.
I know.
Because everybody will start doing that, right? They're just
Yeah.
getting rid of old supply.
Yeah, exactly.
They've been selling. My understanding is they've been selling scrap metal at Florida ever since they reopened. So
Okay,
I
so
don't-
we're just catching up.
yeah.
Well, we've only been open like a month and a half, right? So
Mhm.
yeah,
Well, Disneyland was only been open for 3 weeks now.
yeah.
So yeah.
So you're a completionist when it comes to these sabers, I think.
Yeah, obviously.
But
Good Lord.
I think if anybody's out there like me, you're gonna get 3 sabers, and I'm just gonna go through this real fast. And you need this in
Should
your
I
household.
get them while you talk so I can show an example of each?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, whatever. Well, you don't have one of them, so
Sucker.
one
I got my
to
main-
me.
I got
He
my
said-
main too.
To me, Anakin saber to me, because we've talked about, and I personally believe that's the Excalibur of Star Wars, right? That is
Got
like
it.
the
Okay.
most iconic. You put that on a shelf or on a mantle. Next to it, you put the Knights of your Kylo Ren saber, because whoever wields
I
it
like it.
becomes the leader of the Knights of Ren. So you
It
have
is the
that
Ren.
story. And now you can have the dark saber, because whoever wields it is the leader of Mandalore. So 3 talking point sabers is the must-have.
I would
On-
have Vader too. There's no getting around having
I have
Vader.
Vader's.
It has to be a 4.
Yeah, Vader.
That's your
like a-
Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah, this was my main one I
like
need to get.
2 of them come with mantles, like titles. You know what I mean? And
Yeah,
then the
I
other
get you.
other 2 are iconic. So, so that's my goal. That's my goal, is getting the
Yeah, both sides of the same dude. That's why
Yeah.
that one's important. You
Yeah.
know?
yeah.
That's cool.
That's a good point.
Yeah, got to have one on. I would have it one on top facing this way, then around
Yeah.
that way. Now I'm going to get them all and just do that.
Well, the
Thanks-
great
thanks,
talking
Jackal.
points too. Because again, the mantles. Yeah.
The dark saber. The dark saber is only $200, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Comes with the
I'm
blade
probably
too, which is
gonna-
cool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the blade was dope. So I think
Yeah.
that's going to come up. That's got to happen.
Yeah. I'm jealous,
Brandon
guys.
asked
We're
me to
gonna
turn it on.
have to get a video of all the sabers that you have so far, and you have to go through them.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll have to have that coming soon. So.
Cool.
All right. you guys want to talk about that rumor that you heard today, just real fast before we get into the Breaking Bad. The Bad
Which one
Batch.
was it? Which one was it? The Brie Larson?
Yeah, Brie Larson rumor.
Lee Barson? Yeah, Lee Barson is.
That's about as clean I'm going to get that.
You know what? And there's more of a chance of Lee Barson coming in as Mara Jade than there is Brie Larson.
So the latest rumor today, and it wasn't Kathleen Kennedy was fired. Shockingly, it was
That's a first.
Brie
She got
Larson
fired again
Yeah, exactly.
on her day off.
She wasn't even supposed to be here today.
So the rumor is she's coming back to play Mara Jade. And
yeah,
scene.
it's not.
So, there you go. So let's put that one on the burner.
Here's the thing, though. I have talked about Mara Jade being able to be in this with no problem.
Yeah.
Right? Because, again, if somebody dies early on and a few years after Return of the Jedi and you've got 20-some-odd years,
right,
a lot can happen, and you don't have to bring this situation up at all in the sequels. It never has to come up.
Well, look at
especially
Ahsoka
whenever your only contact is a strange kid who has no skin in your
Luke
games.
is not gonna be like,
right.
And
I
exactly.
had a wife and she had a really bad day.
Also, you can fix it up with a cutscene too. You know what I mean, like a inserted whatever. But you're right.
Yeah,
Ahsoka was never brought. I mean, they did a great job up to the event, up to the moment. With Clone Wars cuts scene, and then you have almost live action next scene. She's never brought up, and it works.
It can totally come around full circle right now during this. Again, we're doing the Heir of the Empire soon.
Right.
So the fact of her being Mara Jade, no. The fact that Mara Jade could exist, I like that. And we've talked about that, and that canon, and I think should happen. Doesn't have to marry Luke, but definitely needs to exist in the universe.
Right. Here's the thing about the whole rumor. Because I read the entire article, and it was like she auditioned for 3 different things in Star Wars, was for each movie, did not get the part. She auditioned again for something else. They did not speak about what it was that she auditioned for. They're assuming it's Mara Jade. And at the very end of the article, there's a little asterisk that says, we have absolutely no idea what she's auditioning for. This is all just rumor and speculation. It's like, then why bring it up in the first place?
I know.
Because you clicked.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. And you got us clicking, and you got us talking. See?
Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching.
There you go.
So we should turn this into our own rumor. So totally, Brie Larson is going to be. Yeah. This is our Beat the Poodoo segment.
But we've already known that she's going to be in the Mandalorian stuff. She's going to be in the Disney Plus series. I'm sure of it. So I mean, she'll exist at some point. They'll bring her into canon. It'll be the big surprise.
It's funny how it's known that George Lucas doesn't like that character.
Doesn't like the marriage.
Doesn't like the marriage.
The love interest.
Do you think Dave Filoni he probably knows that too? Do you think he would steer clear of that? Because
no, you bring Mara Jade in,
but you change the whole thing.
You just don't marry him. You don't make it a love interest. You just make her either a villain or somebody that comes over to the side. You just make her the character without the love story.
You do what you're doing with Thrawn, and that is take the character and add a different story to that character.
Oh, yeah.
Or you just do the Heir of the Empire arc, which had nothing to do with them falling in love, really. Yeah. It's, just do that arc.
Yeah.
Where she hates him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh, and the Grisks show up and they kill her. There we go.
Bam. They need 4 or 5 more years of all of these shows to get that all to happen.
Yeah.
No, I think actually in 8 hours increments, it can get done in a full ass season.
Sure.
With all those shows, huh?
Yeah, why not?
You would have so much crisscross shows. They're just calling it a bunch of shows. They're really just the same show.
I would do that.
that
that's thrilling to me, actually.
Yeah.
Last week we were talking about episode 2 of the Bad Batch. One thing we missed, we missed though, we kind of glazed over.
Let's just say this: it was Monday, guys. It was our first Monday. We're used to Wednesdays. We phoned that in. That was horrible.
Yeah.
I went back and watched the Bad Batch episode 2, and I was messaging the guys. Oh man, we effed that one up. I said I thought we had it down. I wasn't thinking we phoned it in, but when I went back and looked at it, shit.
It's funny how, like you said, when we did this stuff with the Clone Wars and stuff, you really have to look deep into these. Quote unquote filler episodes, right? Because I just say that because that's what's the word's been thrown out there. I mean, I've seen it out there and stuff, but so you really have to pay attention. Just like this, the last Friday's episode 3. But there's one point, and I think this carries over. It's going to carry over to today's conversation and to the future. Which was a very specific thing to Omega's character, was it was said that cloners, the Kaminoans, do not create clones without a purpose. And it was asked, what is your purpose? Like, what is Omega's purpose, right? And that's the big question, I think. And that's the question.
What's her purpose?
Yeah.
We know yours. What's hers? Yeah.
We kind of got a hint. We kind of got a bit of a hint in this episode.
Yeah. So like I said, it's going to that I needed to bring that up so we can, go that in there. And because I think it's going to be something that's going to be throughout this entire season. You know what I mean? And it's going to, propel into something bigger, which is amazing.
The other thing is this storyline following too closely with The Mandalorian?
Well, that's what we talked about last week, and that was part of the problem. That was part of the problem with the episode. Now we're good. This one, no. Last week, that was last week's.
Yeah. It almost did, and we'll get into it.
Yeah, exactly.
If she came out with an A,
it's cool.
I would have been like,
storyline.
Oh man,
almost.
So the title of the Bad Batch episode 3 is called The Replacements, and I was just like, man, I want to watch The Replacements, and yeah, I love that movie. Go Falco. Okay, I got that out of my system. Cliff knows what I'm talking about. We quote that movie a lot.
You quote every movie a lot.
I do.
So I just sit in the back and nod and smile, pretend like I know what the hell you're talking about.
Me and Marco can go back and forth for
hours. Weird Science, and Scott's only seen it once? And he barely remember? Like, what?
Yeah, it was all right.
Get up and go watch it right now.
All right, Bad Batch episode 2.
Oh yeah. The Replacements. Which
stay on.
Episode 3. Yeah,
stay on target.
So when
3. We missed episode 2.
Yeah, we don't talk about episode 2. We just
don't discuss episode 2.
Apologies to everybody in the pit and all of our patrons for our episode 2 content.
We got most of it. You
know what? Nobody called us, honestly. They thought the same damn thing.
Exactly.
It didn't catch their attention either.
You guys didn't catch it either.
I wasn't even on. I liked it. Serious, I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought you guys were phenomenal.
So of course, okay, so the intro, we have Tech, and he's kind of obsessed with the chips, right? Like the inhibitor chips that they all they all have, and they know what the clones are. And the question was, is ours defective, or what's going on? And Tech is like actively
working on something to see if they still work. That's what he's trying to answer that question.
Yeah.
So that leaves it open. We thought they were done. They had figured out that theirs were done, and Crosshair was the only one.
Right, exactly. And so, because I think that's an important tool, which I don't maybe they don't think their Bad Batch realizes that it could be used against them. You know what I mean? Like Tarkin could have a ray gun and go zap, do what I say. I mean, I think that's the concern. I think Tech knows it.
Because he's doing it right now to Crosshair. So if there's any inkling of any kind of chip in there. Yeah, we'll get to it in a minute, but it's happening. We're about next episode. I'm 90% sure next episode we're getting hosed next episode.
Yeah, man, it's gonna go down. Like I that got me a little nervous because they're setting that up.
Yeah, they sure did. Scott caught it. It's happening.
Yeah, so, and they of course it wouldn't be an episode without crash landing on a moon, not a planet, but a moon. So.
Okay, to Joey's point, we raise a crest in it every freaking episode, right? Let's just patch it together and go again. So Joey's point, yes, back to last episode 2 and landing on that planet. Now we're broken on another planet. So
crash on another planet.
Yeah.
We're just gonna go and crash on every planet until we can get it fixed by some calamari. In a sweater,
in a sweatshirt,
with the clone experiencing everything for their first time.
Right. Now, before we get to the crash, I want to mention again that I want to just very beginning, because everything is really important in these shows. They're very subtle. Right. I think, and what they're building to here, and this is I want to lead into this.
Yeah.
When the food was going on, when they were doing the rations, rations were very low, and he made sure to give Omega one. Right. Rations are low because they have an extra mouth to feed too, by the way. Yeah. Okay. But
not really.
They don't, because
Wrecker would have ate it and Crosshair took over.
Got it.
Right. But anyway, but still, to the point.
Right.
Wrecker's going to take her food, and he stops him and says about the kid. We've never had a kid before. Well, you see Wrecker start to soften right there.
Yes.
Yeah.
That kind of happens throughout the episode. Again, he's liked kids the entire time, right? From episode 1 on.
Pretty much a big kid.
Yeah. He is. Yeah. And this is where we're leading here.
Yeah.
And how he's with her and the food and starting to understand and softens up, and he's just really good with her this whole episode.
Right.
So I just wanted to bring that up from jump. It's Wrecker kind of learning about the kid here.
Yeah.
All right.
And she keeps calling him I keep thinking she's calling him Rico, Like Rika.
Rekka.
It's starting to bug me.
No,
like,
I have a note on here that I love her accent
Do
more
you?
every time. I love Rekka.
It's the Australian accent.
Yeah, or New Zealand. Yeah,
she's
New
calling
Zealand,
him
yeah.
Rico or something. Like,
Yeah, I like it.
what are you doing here, Uncle
like
Rico?
I don't
Okay,
so
so-
much like I don't like when she says her own name as much.
Omega,
I don't
yeah,
like
yeah,
Omega, you know. But everything else is cool.
Yeah, it's a little confused. I'm like, oh, she's saying Wrecker. Okay,
You know what?
I get it.
I was starting to think through this episode, and I'm kind of getting ahead here.
That's okay.
She's very emotionless,
Yeah, you
right?
know,
Like docile to the next level, like not freaking out on shit. Like because we're crashing right now.
Right.
There's a scene where she freaks out.
But again, it's
You
like
think
she's never
in the end-
really experienced something like that. So it's like, how can she be showing any kind of fear or anything because she's never been?
She's
you would think
afraid of everything.
Yeah, you would think the unknown would have her all
Yeah.
pitching a fit, like crashing.
Yeah.
Like
Right.
she looks. It's not so much that she's scared; it's that she's getting banged around.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. When is it over? It's not like that. Oh my God, is it over? Like Wrecker's like ready to puke, right?
Yeah.
Like and scared to death. She's like, is it over? Because I'm getting banged around on this stinking thing.
Right.
See,
Right.
and as they're crashing, Wrecker hits his head
Hard.
Yeah, and the first thing that comes to my mind is it was right after Tech was working on that little chip scanner thing, and then for the rest of the episode, Wrecker's rubbing his head, going, "Oh, my head's killing me." I'm like,
I'm concussed.
His chip is going to activate. Something happened with his, even though the chip should be on the other side. But
well, you unwrapped the present early, but yes, that's what we're trying to lead to. So through all this stuff, right?
Right.
Yeah, that's
So
that's
a good blow to the head will ruin your chip, is what you're saying.
Hey, I dig the pullover, right? Like we're on a ride.
The roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
We're on a roller, even with the sounds. I swear to God, they just went in and
Yeah, and did you see what Wrecker did too? He got it and he adjusted it, like he brings it up
And
and
it
puts
didn't
it
fit.
like we
It
all
didn't
do
fit.
in roller
Oh,
coasters.
everyone, yeah. None of us fit in those stupid
No,
things.
exactly. I noticed that too. I was like, oh, look at that. He's adjusted like we would,
Yeah, there you go. That's what happens with the heavy ass Mando.
Yeah. So
Whatever.
Wrecker hits his head because he crashed down again on a moon. Never a planet, always on a moon. That's Star Wars for you. We're always on a moon. And so he hits his
They're
head.
closer.
Yeah, exactly. Because it happens. Every planet's a gas giant. So go figure.
Just about.
And here was my only single gripe about this episode was it was too dark. I mean, I even
didn't get
closed all
that,
my
dude.
blinds and everything, and I still could not see what was really going on because it was just so dark.
I think you got to adjust your levels, man.
Yeah,
I've watched it a few times.
I'm serious. I did, and it was still like
You said that too, and I didn't notice that, Joey, at all.
I purposely tried. Yeah,
it is everything's at night, but I mean, like, I didn't notice that at all. It didn't get me. But I know. See, I'm okay. So you're using the plot point of the chip being infected and some sort of blow to the head and stuff, and I'm using it as that's good. But I'm also using it. That's the reason why Wrecker was stayed back, and to make makeshift the house for Omega. Do that.
See, I like that, but no, I think at first I told Scott no. I'm like, nah, I don't think so, dude. There's no way, because I only watched it once, but it didn't catch my attention, But then when you watch it again, you're like, no, they made a point.
Yes,
they make it a point to complain about it. Yeah,
the timing of it, like Scott said. Then later on, you get him in every couple of times you see him, he's grabbing his head,
right?
And they made a point that he got shot.
Right,
right. He's been shot by a sniper and has been brushed it off.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, oh, that hurt.
But he keeps grabbing it. Yeah. Oh,
That's
yeah, I
true
remember
too.
it hurt. They're making this point. It's like Kylo with his hitting this stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're making a point of what's going on, and I think that's it. And then with the bed thing, that's just the last bit, dude. That's the last sweet thing he did.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, he's done next episode.
Hang on.
Yeah, you're right.
They don't have any Jedi near them right now, so it's not even like he would necessarily show that the chip has been activated.
True.
So,
but I mean, they're going to get a hold of it by the end of next episode. Not Tarkin anymore. Rampart's got him. Rampart will have him, and he's getting chipped. He's getting zapped like a crosshair.
Yeah,
we're going to have Wrecker going berserk soon.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I like that because you got to put. I know they're in peril as it is, but you really have to like ramp it up.
You have to tear them apart.
Yeah.
You have to tear them apart. The best, they started out great with Crosshair because, by the way, I love Crosshair.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. I love Crosshair.
So, okay. So, they do they crash land, and of course they come. Why they crash land is because they got thrown out of hyperspace because one of their energy sources.
Capacitors.
Capacitors blew. And they got to replace it. But of course, there's monsters on this moon that eat energy sources and takes it and everything. And so now Hunter goes off and he lets Omega come with him because
she's part of the crew.
I'm part of the crew. And he's like, yeah, I guess so. And
I have that written down. Well, no fight. Why?
Yeah.
Why is that okay?
Because, but Hunter is heightened senses.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think that maybe he knew that she just could be okay and handle her own or something like that. I don't know. Like, the reason why there was no fight, he's just like, yeah, you're part. Okay, let's go. Let's go to this danger. We don't know what's going on. Or he's just like, I can handle anything that's been thrown to us. No problem. I don't know. But that was kind of weird, right? No fighting, no argument. Because there's always an argument over that, you stay here.
And then she has to sneak it. But he just really just gave in with like nothing.
And maybe that's the reason, too.
Dad, can I have an ice cream? No, please? Okay. That's what it was.
Exactly. So they go on their mission. And again, here's the parallels to Mandalorian again, right? They go on to the mission. And I'm just going to go through this and then we'll get into Crosshair. Of course, they follow the energy source and the Hunter passes out because his breathing mask fails, and Omega takes up the mantle and takes his knife and goes after the creature.
Takes the blaster.
Correct. Right.
Yeah.
Takes the blaster, goes after the creature. I'm sitting there going, if she comes out with an egg.
I want you to stop. I think Scott was going there too. She took everything of life and survival from him but his air on a planet that some monster just took all their shit, right? And there's holes everywhere. You assume there's one monster.
Right.
And she just takes all of his weapons. That wasn't cool. That was jacked up. I was thinking she should sit there and protect him. I'm like, that's messed
true.
up, Omega.
That's true. She fixes.
Now go ahead.
Yeah,
we're going somewhere with her though, and I think with okay.
Yeah, I know. But it was effed up.
Yeah,
that's not the right.
You're
thing
right.
to do.
She took all his survival.
She passed out.
Still breathing. She made sure he was breathing.
But there could be dragons all over. There were 87 holes there.
This could be some part of her special gift.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because when she went into this cave, or the hole in the ground, and she confronted the creature, and traded the creature the energy source for the life. She figured this out without shooting this creature and harming it. Yeah. She figured out to trade the flashlight that she had because the energy source, and she got the capacitor. Yeah, Scott.
Yeah.
So. Already, we have seen, each one of those guys, the Bad Batch, has a specific trait. Hunter is tracking.
Right.
Wrecker is strength. We've got Crosshairs with his sharp shooting abilities. Already, she has proven that she is an amazing shot by shooting at Crosshair, and that she's got tracking abilities because she was able to track that dragon.
I think she's all of them.
I think we're going to find out that she's an amalgam of all of those characters.
Yeah.
And her, besides the tracking instinct, she has a crazy instinct in general, and maybe that's why she has no fear, because she knows there's nothing to fear, because she can instinctively tell what's going to happen. This crash is going to be okay.
Yeah,
this animal is not going to eat me,
because she's the first one who saw the animal and describe it. So maybe she sensed it and sensed that it's just that something looking for whatever. It's not going to harm me. It wants this. It doesn't want my life.
Yeah.
So I think Hunter sensed that, and I think she sensed that because, again, I think she's all of them. And when we get into the Kaminoans and when they're talking about something else, the main another asset, I think that's her. That's what what she was created for. But anyway, we'll get to that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So again, she gets the life, the source and everything. And again, it's another Mando parallel, because I'm thinking if she how Baby Yoda saved Mando at that point, finding a creature, and she basically did the same thing, but she didn't come out with the egg.
Yeah, I see how this one is completely different, because she didn't have to hurt anything. He wasn't in peril.
Right.
The thing to me with this one is the Razor Crest, because I wrote down Razor Crest landing.
Yeah.
That was the note. So that was the one piece on there.
Yeah, which is is awesome. I mean, that's awesome. And then of course she comes back and everything's cool, and then Wrecker makeshifts her home, and they have that moment. But let's
talk about Crosshair.
Yeah, dude.
First, before,
we called it
the elite squad and everything like that.
Yeah,
right?
The replacements.
We called it that this was going to be a Crosshair heavy episode, and dude. First off, the music in this is fantastic, because when Crosshair got up out of his bed and had that dark undertones, and he was just scowling, and because Tarkin,
when he sniped through the thing,
Yeah.
When he was in the tree, it went rock right before that happened.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everything went really hardcore
I
with
loved
the
it,
sound
dude.
effects and the rocks. We're talking about the music.
Yeah.
That was I'm like, whoa, did they just pull that in the Clone War cartoon?
They
like
did,
they would do
man.
in The Mandalorian. Like that's what I would have expected there.
Yeah.
That was awesome. Awesome.
And I'm agreeing with you more, Chris. I don't think there's any return for Crosshair. Even though last episode they were given glimpse of hope, but with the team mentioned it too, because that's something I don't think we mentioned too last week was
they talked about it in this episode too in the very beginning, because she got into his toolkit, right, or brought it out, and she's all, it's not his fault, and Tech's kind of like, or well, is it? You know, like that's kind of what they're saying. You know, is his fault or is it?
Right.
Like Tech still thinks there's a chance that this is still a choice they can make.
Right.
That was a good conversation, but she thinks he's not gone. She thinks they can go save him.
There's good in him.
Even in the original, there's good in him. Even in the original Bad Batch miniseries in Clone Wars, he was the wild card. He was the one that I always thought was going to snap and end up shooting shooting Rex or something.
He was always the miserable one, the one that's out there for,
the ones with the scars are the ones that are going to turn.
Exactly.
That's what's going on. That's jacked up. That was foreshadowing. Like they look like bad guys. They're going to make them bad guys. We should.
Well, they're all pretty messed up. So
remember what George Lucas has this thing.
Just
Well, I
got a
know
mullet.
he goes, if they look bad, they are bad. That's what's his main thing always has been, and it's still a good thing to keep in mind. Tarkin, of course, and Rampart's there, right? And Rampart's like, look, here's our first batch of recruits.
Yeah.
Right after they just chipped him again, by the way. They just zapped him again to make him more jacked up or whatever they're doing to him.
They made sure that it was stable. I think it was making sure that this chip is still doing what we want it to do.
Because remember here, he's talking with, I don't think it was Nalase, it was Lama Su right in this scene, right? Yeah. And when they're talking again about the recruits and the other soldiers. When Lama Su leaves the room, you get one of those, not an eye roll from a Kaminoan, right? But just it's going down. You know, this is not the first. It's not the only time in this show we're going to see that either. It's happened. It's a recurring theme. The Kaminoans going, oh man.
Yeah, and they talk about it at the end too.
Yeah, just want to see it was leading up the whole time. This whole episode was about Kaminoans knowing that they're hosed.
They want to stay in the game.
They want to stay in the future of us. We need to stay viable to this new empire.
Right. Which is oh my god,
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. I know that's the next part, but
so we have Rampart's introducing the new recruits to Tarkin, and he goes, let's put their new leader with this group and see what they can do. We'll put the
Project War Mantle.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Which was mentioned in Rogue One.
Yeah, that's right.
It was one of the files. It was one of the files. It was Black Saber, not Dark Saber, and War Mantle, and what the hell? Oh my God, Stardust.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Which is cool. But here we go. Now we got our first enlisted recruits, and then of course Crosshair is leading them, and Tarkin sends them on the mission of doing what the Bad Batch couldn't do, which is seek out Saw Gerrera's group and eliminate him. You know?
Yeah, he said his brethren. Later. That's jacked up. Yeah.
So that's when and Crosshair is just like, I mean, whatever. And of course the recruits are already questioning this, questioning, why are we following this like him? We're
the one that was talking trash about the clones in the transport, right? He was talking, I'm going to be the commander in a minute. Why would we take orders from a clone? Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Then they get down there and he blasts the one point. I'd never tell you. Blah. Yeah, I believe you.
It's so great.
Like, oh man, dude, there's so much death in this episode. Dude, like, there's a lot of killing in this episode.
That was fantastic because
it was pretty violent.
Yeah. The non-hesitate. I'm sitting there going in my mind, and I'm sure you guys are doing it too. I'm sitting there going, he just needs a shooter. Boom, he shoot. Oh my God, he did it! He just did it. Yeah. When if you're no good to me, then you're dead. And because she says, I'm not going to tell you even if I could. Boom. No conversation, no back and forth, which I believe the other enlisted guys were. And this is kind of proving Rampart's point, or not Rampart, but the clones are still, if chipped this way, they are probably the better soldier, but there's just not enough of them.
You can't have as many of them though. Here's the deal. When they get down to it, this project is clones leading solgers.
Correct.
They want the clones to train these people.
Hey, doesn't that make sense with Born in a Storm? Move along. He was the squad leader, and that was a clone.
And he was a clone. You're right. You're right.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So the clone should be leading this thing,
and that makes perfect sense, right? Like one clone in charge of a battalion and stuff, and I love it. I love it, especially if they're all hardened like that, because again, it's putting the Empire in that oppressive state where the clones are making those decisions because they're programmed to, and the soldiers are following orders. Again, you can't humanize them too much, so you put the clones in charge as far as that wise.
And that dude tried to say, let's take them. He's like, that's not within our orders, and good soldiers follow orders. So he said, so you're disobeying a command? Yes,
I love it.
am.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys something. Do you think Crosshair's so far gone that, like, say if somehow his chip gets destroyed, that it won't even matter? He's still going to stick with the way he's thinking.
That's what we're saying right there, yeah.
I honestly think that if he were to come back from the dark side, from this dark side, that he would feel so remorseful for what I think he would end up sacrificing himself.
Yeah,
to save
I don't think he's gonna survive. Like if he does turn, it's gonna be like to save Hunter because they're the ones who had, and he's gonna get killed doing it. But yeah, he might have that moment of redemption. But I don't think he will. He doesn't have preservation in mind. You know what I mean? I think he'll go down with the ship, and I think that's going to be his downfall.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's a good question. But I think the chip is he's the Winter Soldier of. I hate to keep.
He really is.
He's to use the Marvel terms, but like how Bucky tried to come back from it. It was really hard, but this is a different situation, of course. But
there's a lot of defecting that goes on in Star Wars. There is. Everybody defects, but this guy's got a colder streak. But there's been a lot of guys that kill a lot more people than Crosshair. A lot more innocent people than Crosshair. So can he come back? Yes. Do I think he's going to come back? It's like you said, the moment of redemption. Maybe when Wrecker's about to kill Omega, he saves Omega and wakes Wrecker up or something. Some bullshit, That kind of thing. It's big old emotional.
It's going to be a build-up. It's going to be brother versus brother. It's going to be a build-up.
Chucking her across a hill, and then
I think we would all kind of applaud right there for a little bit.
Just for whoa,
say my name. It's Wrecker, not Richard or
Wrecka.
But yeah, so like it's proven that the enlisted man, like that one guy who was already like, I'm the squad leader. We don't need to take orders from clones. Because basically Crosshair orders the execution of all Guerrera's. Even the civilians, because he's not there, and their mission was to eradicate this camp. And the one guy questions it, and he tries to get the other squad to not do it, and then Crosshair's like, bam, bam, and then orders the other ones to fire, and they did it. Flamethrower and everything. And
I love the flamethrower.
Yeah.
I did notice that they, at least whenever Saw left, the kids were no longer there on planet. The kids were all gone with Saw. So.
Yeah.
They get the kids off first. They killed women, but they didn't kill the kids. That was good point. Good
right,
point.
right. But I just thought this was smart. A great precedent for Crosshair moving forward. The chip, like I said, good, and the mantle was good soldiers follow orders, and that was his thing, And when they get back to Tarkin, and I love Tarkin and Rampart's dialogue through the entire episode because they're just like chess matches, right? Do you think this will happen? We shall see. This just happened. Whatever. And they're going and they're communicating. And then basically Tarkin looks at him and goes, they're one man short. And Rampart's like, well, they knew that what was going in. Nothing was explained. And I love Crosshair basically said, look, Guerrero wasn't there, but we did what we're doing. And he gives the other guys a nod like, come on. And they just followed. And of course, they went into his quarters, which he saw Wrecker's markings on the wall. He saw like the barracks of there, and that was a little. You thought for a minute that he cared. Until he sat down and didn't care, right? But it was more like, ugh. Do you think he didn't care, or because he put his head down and he just kind of like.
His eyes, dude, he wasn't. They're really good, these animations. For as corny and crappy the animation is, sometimes it has so much emotion. It's probably why they do it. You get a lot of emotion. And those eyes, dude, I don't think he gave a damn. I think he was just in mode of F.
You guys noticed, too, when they came back and they reported back to Tarkin, he didn't really say, like...
He didn't tell...
He didn't, like, snitch on him or nothing like that. He just basically said he didn't make it.
Yeah.
Oh, they don't care. Facts is facts. He didn't come. Mission's over.
He wasn't asked either, so
you're gonna lose soldiers. That's all it is. Yeah. You don't give a shit, and that's how they expect it. Yeah. Hey, so these soldiers, and so they were a diverse group always, right? Because we're Star Wars. Is that Fennec?
It didn't.
No.
I mean, at first it looked like Versio, right? It looked like her, but it was too young to be her. I think.
Versio is too young.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It first
dead on.
Yeah.
Right.
Fennec, man. Well,
why not?
I don't think so. It didn't look like her. I've seen the animation of Fennec, and it didn't look like her.
I've only seen the animation of Fennec with helmet on.
With the helmet, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have absolutely 2 female Asian descent actresses drawings going on, but I could see Fennec defecting right now. Does she have a sniper rifle? What gun did she have?
Sniper rifle.
I meant to look.
That's right. That's a good point to go back.
I meant to look. There was somebody else with a long gun. I don't know if it was her.
I don't remember if she was a flamethrower or if she was just a regular blaster or.
Yeah. Either way, I'm just saying it's a shot. It's a shot.
There were 2 dudes and 2
right,
females.
Yeah.
Right.
The age, the way she looked. Do you think it would be about right?
Could be. We don't know, dude. She's like 104 years old in real life, dude, and she looks like 28.
I was just gonna say she's 50.
She's 58 years old.
She's 58.
Yeah,
so yes, I think it would put
Yeah.
the timing right in there.
That is
Dead
dog
on.
years.
yeah.
Then she's 2012.
Yeah. Whatever she's drinking, man, let's keep it up.
Yeah, give me 2. Double shot.
Yeah. So again, like Rampart and Tarkin basically says, "All right, I like your plan, and this plan is going to remain in office, meaning in operation, meaning the clones." And then that whole talk about clone leading the enlisters and
A combination, and this partnership looks like it may work out for the meantime.
And an Admiral Rampart, so he got promoted there too.
Mhm.
Well, he's vice.
He's only got like a lieutenant's or a
Yeah, I think right then and there he got promoted because his
Okay,
face
gotcha.
even like was surprised.
Gotcha. And Tarkin does do that, so
Yeah, and then probably the end of every episode in all the Star Wars and everything is we get the best dialogue here between the Kaminoans.
yes.
They're talking to each other and they're saying like we're basically we our mode of survival, our operation is in danger because of these enlisted soldiers, because our clones, because even oh my God, I forgot the Kamino's name again. Right, not Nala Se, the other one, Lamasu. Lamasu was even telling Tarkin, hey, by the way, we're ready. We can make more, and Rampart, I think
prohibitive.
Rampart's like there's just not enough. What the Empire wants to do is not enough, and I agree with that as far as strategic rights. And even Tech said something about it makes sense. But they were talking like, even if we could sustain, Jango Fett's material is deteriorating. We can't make any more with that. And do you think your like what they said? Do you think your other host or
the experiment with your experiment?
Yeah,
how is that coming along? Right, the experiment.
She said we basically need them back or need it back.
Not it. She says we need one of them back. The ones we need aren't coming back easily.
Right. Because
and then the guy and then they come back with we only need one.
Right. Now
and then they're Kamino property, so we can just take them.
Correct.
Is what their point is. Right.
Well, so if Omega is all of them, then either you get Omega or you get all 5 of the other ones, or 4 of the other ones: Crosshair, Tech, Hunter, and Wrecker. Because all 4 will make one Omega. Kind of that's what I'm thinking. Either you get the 4 of those, or you get Omega back and then maybe from that we'll go into our theory of she's all of them put together, and she's the super soldier that they were growing in the first place, and all that stuff. So they basically made Jango Fett better by making him female, right,
and giving him powers. So that's awesome.
Yeah. So they recreated. They recreated
Twitter's
Jango
gonna
Fett.
Love it.
Yeah. Right. Exactly. So basically, they're growing another Jango Fett with all these enhancements, without cookie cutter stuff and making a different kind of soldier. So
okay, but they literally said we only need one of them.
Right.
Are they talking about the whole Bad Batch?
See, that's again.
And if it is,
but they have one. They have Crosshair.
That's exactly my point.
Yeah.
Exactly. So one of them, what? Boba.
Wow.
They need a non-aging clone.
Oh,
That's
maybe that because in my head went maybe it's not the Bad Batch that we're talking about.
You can't clone a aging clone
because all you have is aging clones.
Right.
Yeah.
You need an unaltered aging clone. You can have an altered with physical abilities,
right? But
you don't want an altered aging, right? Or more docile or anything like that. So Boba and Omega.
There you go.
I think they're going to try and get Boba back too. That's what somehow we're going to see Boba Fett in here because he's going to be a link to Omega.
So Boba or Omega, then that would be we just need one of them.
Those are the 2 that they said they're not going to come back easy. It's not because of the Bad Batch because that makes no sense because they already have.
Because they got one, right? Exactly. Or it could be somebody brand new.
And they've been doing tests on Omega her whole damn life.
Right.
I don't even know why that's even an issue. I really don't, unless they destroyed it on purpose to be safe. But
or they're not done with it.
I didn't think she was going anywhere.
They sent her off, so I don't know if
they sent her off, but to protect her.
Maybe get rid of everything else at the time. I don't know if we don't know that. That's really figuring shit out.
Because
I don't know why they would.
According to the cloners, aren't they all considered like flaws?
They're flaws, but they're on purpose.
Right.
They're enhanced, and they kind of jacked them up, like their faces or bodies or whatever. They are defective, but part of it, their enhancement, their skills are enhanced.
Right.
And that's same with her. She's defective as far as she's a girl and she's not aging. Right. I mean, or that's her superpower. We don't know what the hell, but that's the difference, right? They're all either big or small or ugly or skinny or whatever the hell, right? It's all this stuff.
Right.
She's a girl and she's not aging with all these powers, not powers, skills.
Yeah. Which is fantastic because, it's offering more questions and answers, which is great, and that's what we want in this show. And that we're getting it, I think.
Do we want to find out that Boba has enhancements too?
Well, I mean,
they said he was unaltered, but I mean, they could have messed around and gave him some extra skills. And that makes him so badass,
right? Like more of a sharpshooter and stuff.
Django is a badass. Yeah, so, I mean, they wouldn't have to change.
But I Boba was way more badass than Django. Now, Robert Rodriguez changed that, so we need
to big time
because now Boba wouldn't have got hit by Mace Windu. You'd have been toast. Knee launchers.
Yeah.
Out of here, Mace.
Did you guys see that meme about last week's episode with the clone with the soup? I still crack up.
Yes.
You seen that? He's like, he gets the soup tray and he is happy as, dog, pig. He's like, I mean, smiling. So everybody took that, and that clone is like, it's soup day. It's like, it's fantastic.
No,
I just had to bring that up real fast. I saw that earlier today again, and I was like, that's funny.
That's hilarious. But yeah, it's so weird because they do say the experiment, which these are the experiments, right? Yeah. It's a weird conversation. It's going to go somewhere we don't expect.
Yeah,
right.
And when they're talking with the dialogue, my first thing is like, the Bad Batch? Well, they already got one. If they already need one, they got one. So it's got to be Omega. Like that's my thing. Or it's somebody completely different. You know what I mean? Because I was expecting the camera to pan down on something that was familiar. You know what I mean? Like Grogu. You know what I mean? Or, you know what I mean? Or
that's Alpha.
Yeah.
Grogu's Alpha.
Grogu's.
That's the other one they need.
Maybe that's it.
That's the one. You just did it.
Yeah. Maybe there's your tie.
Grogu's Alpha. He was at the camp. There he is. There you go.
The beginning.
I'm shaking my head. No.
Of course, Scott. You always go against this.
Yes, but that's so perfect. And he was gone because he had Jedi power, so he was over there. That was one experiment. She's another experiment with the skills.
Right.
Oh man, nailed it. We just saw.
Like I said, I wanted that camera to pan down and be like something,
right?
Grogu's in test tubes or something like.
I love it. That's the other one. It's not Boba. It's Grogu.
Oh man. So
maybe it's Boba. It could be Boba.
Maybe
it's Grogu and Boba. Maybe Boba has Grogu.
All we know is that they need one of them. That's it, and we don't know what that is. And
I just assumed it was. Yeah, I didn't even think about the other one. So
I gotta ask, and maybe it's a simple answer. Whatever. Where are the Bad Batch going again? Where are they going? Are they just gone? Like, are they just traveling?
I don't think they've said. They're just on the run.
They're on the run, chilling.
They're the A-team, man.
They weren't looking for Rex or anything, right?
No.
They just knew Rex passed through.
Correct. Yeah. They went specifically for cut, and then they left, and then they were in hyperspace when they got pulled out of hyperspace, which was just got me thinking about High Republic again, how they got pulled out of it.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, we don't, but they're back in that. They're back on the run because they fixed their ship and they're back. I'm wondering what, like, if it was mentioned their destination, their rendezvous, something like,
I don't think so.
Did they mention Saul? Again, no. I didn't think we even get a mention of Saul Guerrero.
They mentioned Saul, but the Bad Batch didn't.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. I think we're still going to get Saul later down the line. I do.
I think they only used him for that. Now
maybe,
that we've seen now we just saw that arc end with that piece. We saw Saul. We know who he is, so it sets it up for us why they're important.
He's left his home.
And you miss him.
Yeah. He's left his home world. He's off fighting on his own now. So
right.
Yeah. He's on Jedha.
Yeah. So yeah. So I think that this Friday, I think Tech is going to discover some more stuff about the chip. This is my predictions in this episode.
Okay.
More stuff about the chip. I think we might even get who the Kaminoans are talking about. Like Boba, like I said, Boba, or if it is Omega, or if it's
Alpha,
or an Alpha. Why name them the Omega, which is the end? Yeah, why?
Cliff says Snoke #1 is Alpha.
Oh man,
no, she is Snoke.
Yeah, what Snoke's just an ugly old lady.
Oh, so Cliff brought that up too because she has Palpatine's hair. You know what I mean? She had it in the first episode, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh man! So, anything else from the chat, Scott, that they can see that anybody?
Yeah, Bootleg Joe wants to talk about his Mecha Godzilla with
God, Joe. Focus.
That's a different episode.
No, I'm kidding, dude. It's fine.
So a lot of talk about the Death Trooper look about looking at Crosshair. I mean, I don't think it is, but it could be a start to that kind of thing, right? Maybe this is where the Death Troopers kind of come from, is enhancing chips, inhibitor chips, and people. They're not clones. They're not always going to be clones.
Right.
I didn't always think about that.
But it was just the green eyes and kind of a stormtrooper visage. It's just getting there, right? Mm-hmm. And then the elite guys are still using clone armor. That's just phase 2 armor just painted. Right. They threw some plastic dip on it, and we're like, all right, let's jam.
On the live chat last week, I was talking about that, how those clone troopers had a lot of similarities to the Death Troopers with the green eyes,
with the green visors. Yeah,
it was Crosshair specific. Yeah, Crosshair specifically was greened out and ready to roll.
Would be cool because we know that their language was a coded thing right there. Yeah. It wasn't a language, but it was. Coded.
They were decoded in their mask.
Yeah, so would be awesome if they implemented that future down the line, like Crosshair brought up. Now to communicate. Because we don't want people to know what we're talking about, and it does that, then I'm like, oh crap! Then Crosshair is the breeding ground for the Death Troopers.
Imagine that.
Oh, that's cool.
Dude, that would be bad.
I mean, the sucky thing is though, whenever it comes to like action figures, Crosshair is only like one per package now, and I want multiple so I can now paint him in his new look. And,
we're getting tons of we got Bad Batch with ponchos. We got like Wrecker with the the hat and the poncho. We're going to get them.
You act like you're going to get all that. You're not going to get all that.
Okay, you're going to get it with the pops.
I'm going to get it with the pops. I'm going to get you know what I want is a gonk droid. Now that we've keep seeing the gonk droid, I want a gonk.
He's curling gonk droids, and she's using it as a backrest.
Yeah. Yep, he came sliding through during the crash. The gonk droid's in every episode all over it. If I don't get a gonk droid pop this year.
Away while she's laying down on him.
Right. He's the easiest pop to do. Like he's a box. He's a box on top of a spring.
He's the gonk droid is the easiest Black Series packaging up. I mean, we don't even have that.
Why haven't we got one
ever? Well, because Black Series sucks. But I mean, come on.
Yeah,
I got all the
Hasbro sucks.
Yes, they're bastards.
Exactly.
They're bastards.
Marco, get on it.
Yeah. All right.
But that was a cool thought on that. Now here's my thought. Here's what I want to know again. This is coming up too.
Yes.
We're gonna see Cody at some point.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think they're gonna start doing this chip thing to other people, and maybe Cody gets hit pretty early, and then Cody's just no coming back for Cody? Would you want to see that?
Yeah, I do.
He would have to be one of these leaders, like Crosshair, right? Cody would be one of the first ones, the one that took out Kenobi supposedly, and all this stuff.
Right. I do, Chris. I want to see that. I want to see the like I said, like we all love the Empire, but I want to see them being bastards. I really do. And I think that if this is the way to do it, yes, you get because I always said I think in this series we might even get a Cody Rex showdown. You know what I mean? That would be amazing.
And if he's that hardcore and they get into it, I mean, could you imagine Rex taking out Cody?
Right.
Like, because we know Rex survives, we don't see Cody anywhere, but they get down to it and get in a tussle.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
Yeah. I want it. Yeah. I want it real bad because that would just add to Rex's character so much that he had to take out Cody.
Right.
I just think it would be awesome.
I think that'd be fantastic, and I want to think that it's coming. It's got. I mean, that gets me excited. Like you said, like
we just wrote the rest of the season, and there's nothing that's going to happen.
I know we're going. Yeah. But something's got to happen. We've got 13 more episodes. I mean,
and we've got 94 theories, so I mean, something's got to hit.
We got to be close to one of them
at some point. Then we can put it on. Hey, we told you, and then we can get all sorts like 10 more clicks.
Yeah,
and it'll be huge. Go viral.
Anything else in your notes, Chris, that we on this episode? Or
I'm jumping around. I had the Fett degrading. That was the Cody question.
Okay.
And my last note on here is that takes the kid to her new room, gives him Lula, and he is toast next week. That was my note.
Wrecker has completed his stay on the show.
He has. He at least with the Bad Batch. At least with the Bad. And there's the thing is they've made him the lovable one for 3 episodes.
Right.
And it's about to go down and break our hearts because this got dark. They're gonna go really dark.
Yeah.
It needs to.
And it's gonna be Crosshair taking him out for real this time.
Oof. Yeah.
He shot him once.
No, he's not going out. He's turning on them.
Oh, he's turning on. Oh.
He's going with Crosshair. He's
gotcha.
Gonna go.
Well, there you go.
Activated.
He hit his head, and there's a reason to be scanned then, and then so there's a reason to, you know what would be funny? Not funny, but like if Tech is figuring these out, what if he accidentally triggers Wrecker?
That's possible
by figuring it out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then they have to take him out. See?
Yeah. Could you imagine? Or I can see this. It's starting to work, and Wrecker feeling it and leaving.
Yeah.
Right, getting away before he hurts somebody. Like he knows it's not.
Gotcha.
He knows it's jacked up. He needs to get it fixed or something. Or he doesn't want to hurt her.
Right.
You know, because he's getting close. But then Crosshair finds him. They zap him. Then he's bad, and he comes back and kills everybody, and we're done.
Yeah, I think
that's how Bad Batch goes.
Only Bad Batch that's capable of pulling a Rex is Hunter, as far as like wheeling it not to work.
Yeah, they've made it that way. He's the main, right?
Yeah.
He's the obviously the lead in this series.
Yeah. The weakest minded one is Wrecker. He's the weakest minded in the group as far as like if something happened, it would be uncontrollable. You know what I mean? Like it would.
That's why they're doing it. That's why they're doing it. No, that was a good catch, Scott. I didn't notice that the first time through at all.
Yeah.
So
we'll see. I'm anxious for Thursday night now. I want to see.
Yeah.
Episode 4.
I didn't know what to think. I think I may have even said this last week. I didn't know what to expect with the show. I wasn't excited about the show.
Right.
I thought the first, their arc in Clone Wars was kind of
Right, yeah.
But with every episode, I want more. It has not disappointed yet.
Especially with like I said, within the dialogue between Tarkin and Rampart. And again, Tarkin left now. I don't know if we'll even see him again till later
hardly
on.
Ever holograms.
Yeah, and now it's Rampart. Rampart's in charge now.
But we're getting those answers that it seems like every time they release an animated show or a any kind of series, they're giving us those answers we've always wanted. Why did they go from clone troopers to stormtroopers?
Right.
We're getting these answers, and I freaking love it.
Yeah.
Yep, you're right.
It is so well done.
Exactly. And then we'll eventually get into the propaganda of the Empire, like Solo.
Yeah. I think we're gonna get some kind of time jump, some kind of time jump, and we'll see that. And we'll see the propaganda way up.
Is there room in the? Okay, three episodes in. I don't know if this is the right time to ask this question. Maybe I'll ask it, halfway through. But I'm saying, like, is there room for seasons on this show, or is this like a cut and dry? You know what I mean? Maybe it's just too early to
depends on how it plays out and who comes back and who dies. I mean, if we're gonna get down to just Hunter and Omega, then
because we're talking like that, like cut and dry 16 episodes, because we're talking like things being final. You know what I mean?
Like Clone Wars have been final 4 times.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Because now, I mean, I know we have an 18-year span, right?
Yeah.
Every time we toy with this whole idea of a time jump, it never happens. Even though I'd really like to see it, I think it would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't want to go there. I honestly don't think it'll happen.
Yeah.
You know what? They're just so good about not telling you what the time frames are, and you kind of got to figure it out during movies and stuff.
Right.
Like Rogue One was very kind of like that. You don't know how many days took.
Except for The Last Jedi, where it's 17 hours. You've got 17 hours to.
You know what? And you know what? What was my biggest beef about that was the fact that it was that many hours. And they got across the galaxy and back. You're right. Yeah. Leave the time out of it, and we're good.
Yeah, 17 hours, and how many days did Rey stay on Octo? I'm confused at that.
Time moves slower on Octo.
That's what I'm hoping.
Just like Dagobah.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the same. That's what they said. I read that somewhere.
Luke, you're only gone an hour.
Oh.
Yeah,
I've got the Force.
Each planet rotates slower or faster around the sun, right?
And it slows down time literally. Something weird about the Force.
I'm not even
thinking
about that.
It's the Force on the planet slowing time. It's something like that. At least that was the explanation.
It's got to be.
Just watch Interstellar. You'll be just as confused as I am.
that movie.
Oh, dude.
We're down there for 30 years.
I know.
No, I wasn't even happy about it. we're watching that. I don't want to get into it right now, but I was like, at the end, I'm like, oh, F this whole movie.
Right. It took a turn, huh?
F it. Yeah. Hate it. Stupid.
All right, cool.
I think
that's it. If you guys got anything else, I don't know about the chat or anything. If you guys had any last comments about this episode or what you're looking into, or like what you're expecting from Friday's episode 4. But yeah, man,
Boba, Grogu, Palpatine. Oh, we haven't seen Palpatine yet.
Yes, we did. We saw hologram.
The hologram.
But I think he's coming up soon. We're gonna have to see Palpatine.
What if he makes a visit to the?
He was in the poster.
Yeah, he could. Well, you're right, and also it makes perfect sense that he would visit this facility, because this is where the main decisions being made through the Empire's army, the Galactic Army. You know what I mean? This is where it was originated, and this is where the key is gonna, or the tide's gonna turn. Whether can we sustain more clones, whatever, and Emperor's going to probably make that last decision. Then he's like, burn it all, at the end, he's like,
oh, burn and take her.
Yeah, take the girl, burn it
That's
all.
why he's there. He's there to see her.
Yeah, so there's a possibility he will be
there. Yeah. I'm in. And he's bringing Vader with him.
Oh, man.
And then he sends Vader to destroy Kamino. Just take care of it, Vader.
You know what really, you know what really sticks,
Dyson and Dyson
sticks in my mind now.
Do it.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was this in the Aftermath books where, I think it was the Aftermath books, when the end of the Clone Wars, when all the droid ships stopped, all the battle droids stopped, ceased, and all of a sudden the news reports over the holofeed was the Separatist leaders were destroyed, and now there's this mysterious black cloaked figure next to the Emperor.
Yeah.
I like that fact that all of a sudden there's this mystery figure, and
not announced.
Correct.
He was just
so
there.
If Vader does show up, it'd be that. Yeah,
that'd be awesome.
Remember on the finale of Rebels when Vader goes up to the graveyard, to that little graveyard where all the clones.
Clone Wars.
Did he have stormtroopers around him or clones?
Dude, that was 19. That was 19. That was way later.
That was right.
Yeah. So, I don't know if it was that.
I'm wondering if they would send Vader to just destroy all the rest of the clones.
Sure. Well,
that wasn't the end of Rebels, dude. That was the end of Clone
Wars. Yeah.
That wasn't Rebels. Those were Stormtroopers, but it was later on.
I don't know if destroying the clones, or like I said, Tarkin has that plan, taking the remaining clones, even if there's thousands of them, right? You have to think about the Empire's reach. I think if he can't enhance them like they did Crosshair, then yeah, they'll be disposable, or they'll put on the front line somewhere. Sure.
Oh.
Well, I think that's our show. We're out of time until next Monday. So everybody, thank you very, very, very much for joining us on Mondays now. Join us again. Spread the word. Get everybody out there. We're talking Star Wars. This is what we're doing. We love it. Can't get enough. I know we could probably go another 4 hours talking just this episode. I mean, we really can. That's no lie.
Yeah, I just lost a thought a minute ago. And I'm sure 10 minutes. So
it'll come back in a minute.
Yeah, it will.
I'll hit you in the chat.
After we sign off, I'm sure. But see, we messed up again. We got to do that.
Yeah, because I haven't talked about Order 67 yet. Thinking about the Kaminoans. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here we go.
Yeah. Well, besides the fact that I do think there's some other order in there, and the Kaminoans are going to try and pop it at some point. I did have that written down, where that's their contingency plan in case somebody turns on them, they can drop an order on the clones too.
That's where you'll get the elimination of the clones.
Yeah,
and then it's full on listed men after that. Like if you can't, if you're not going to use this, then boom, then watch us go.
Yeah, I think that's got to happen at some point, right?
That'd
They're
be
talking
awesome.
about working with the Empire, but they could turn on the Empire too.
Sure,
now,
they're already being threatened. I mean,
right, but they're going to get taken over because the Empire at some point they get taken over because Pershing's not Kaminoan.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, exactly.
So the Empire's taken over quite soon.
You're right. absolutely right. Wow. I love that. I just love even like thinking about that. You know what I mean? Like they're just execute Order 67.
Yeah, could you imagine, dude? Could you imagine? Awesome, dude. Order 69. Let's turn this thing right around.
Right. Oh, that's funny.
Oh man.
All right, cool.
So, hey guys.
That makes sense. I hope it happens.
I do too. Now I do. Yeah.
Now we've got 98 theories.
Real quick. Can we all give a good hearty "May the Force be with you" to Brandon's 5-year-old daughter Anya, who is watching?
Absolutely.
So may the Force be with you.
May the Force with you. Thanks for watching too. You're growing up. See, I just said kids don't watch Star Wars. I'm proven wrong right here right now, and I'm so happy about
Star Wars. She's watching Four Idiots talk about Star Wars.
Well, this is Star Wars, right?
Four silly gooses.
Oh,
there we go. Four silly gooses.
Real fast too. Speaking of fans and all that stuff about Star Wars, watch Bucketheads. I know Bucketheads has been around a long time, and it's a fan-made film and stuff. And they did one back in Rogue One. It was a whole battle scene that they did, and it's on YouTube. Search it, Bucketheads. They just came out with, and it's funny because they came out with season 1, episode 1. And a continuation, and it is really cool, and it is the 501st doing making movies now, and it's cool. and it's fantastic.
It's the end of the Battle of Endor from the Stormtroopers' perspective,
right?
And wow,
it's fantastic.
Just, wow,
yeah. I was impressed with them a long time ago because I don't watch fan films, as much, but Bucketheads is really good because again they are.
Did their Vader stop 200 laser bolts?
Not yet.
No Vader yet.
Vader's
but
dead
there were some.
at this point.
There were some.
It's after Endor.
Yeah. Right. There are some Ewoks being taken out. Which
was I mean,
kind of intense. Yeah.
No, it's really cool. Again, if you ever get a chance to check it out, go for it and support them because it's just cool. The 501st doing their thing. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Made me want to join.
Exactly. I mean, we know them. We know some guys now. I mean,
we know some people. We don't have outfits,
but we know them.
The people.
We know people that can make outfits.
Oh, right, speaking of outfits, Galaxy's Edge. They're selling Boba Fett's backpack now. They're selling the jetpack with a rocket-firing missile.
A rocket, and that thing is like that big too.
It's what it looks like. It's big, but I
bet
the
rocket itself is about at least 8 inches. I mean, that thing's gonna hurt.
That's what she said.
Okay, all right. All right, cool.
Cool. Here's the thing. Here's how the chat goes today, guys. Yeah. Oh, look, there's Boba Fett's jetpack. Cool. What size is it? Oh, it's like for a kid. What kind of kid wants that? I want that. Like, really, that's how we go. We're like mad because mad because it's for kids. We're like, why isn't it for adults? You know what? Why the hell would it be for adults? That's where I'm at.
I don't care. I'll put it on my back anyway.
I know, but I'm like, oh, these dumb kids don't need that.
You're 100% right, Chris. But we're the ones that want to wear it. I mean, every day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'd wear it to work.
Yeah, my kids are grown, man. I'm not of that. I need them. I need it for me.
My kids play video games. They don't play with stuff like that.
Right. Yeah. You see how hard it is to buy action figures. It's not because the kids are buying them. Trust me.
That's all.
We got Pokemon people shanking each other and shooting each
right?
other.
You know what?
Not even the good cards.
That's why kids don't get into toys now because you can't find any of the good ones.
Yeah. And real collectors know that you don't buy your collector versions at Target. Okay, they're not. You got the retail and then the hobbyist ones. The hobbyist ones have the foil, like the real good foils and their signature cards, and then you have retail, which doesn't have that stuff. So you don't.
Oh, you're talking about cards. Sorry, my
bad.
You
don't buy those cards at retail. So why are you stabbing each other over commons? It's. Anyway, I digress.
You just went into over nerd.
I did.
You did.
Woo! There's that line again, and I
just went full Pikachu.
I don't like that line, man. I went full on, dude.
You are a well-rounded nerd.
All right, guys, let's get out of here for real this time. Thank you, everybody in the pit. Thank you for our Patreons. Thank you, Sarlacc crew, for doing what we do and everything. And we will be back on Mondays again. And so check us out. With that, we're out of here. So, Joey, where can we find you?
You can find me here at the Sarlacc Digest and on Instagram at bootlegjoe_760.
Nice. And Chris.
I might be going. Sorry. I might be going live again on Wednesday.
Yeah, do it.
You guys got the itch. Join me.
Do it. Awesome. Yeah. Instagram Live. Joey went on live last Wednesday. It was fun. So hopefully he does that again. Chris, DartDad77, where can we find you?
On all the socials as the Sarlacc Digest.
Awesome.
Just message me there. That's it. I'm easy. Yeah, you go.
That's not what she said. Okay.
What she said.
All right.
That's not what she said. I'm not sweet, and I'm 6'3", because I'm sure that's what you're talking about. So.
He's a teddy bear.
I'm an a-hole.
A-hole teddy bear.
I'm surrounded by a-holes. That's me.
And finally, last but not least, Scott Solo, where can we find you and take us out, please?
You can find me at all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, that thing. And our group, the Sarlacc Digest Central. Look for me, Scott Kruger, or The Art of Scott Solo with underscores under everything. I just got invited to be on the Blue Milk Latte podcast this Wednesday. So I will be on the Blue Milk podcast with Kent. Yes.
Very cool.
8:30 on Wednesday. I don't know if he goes live or if it's all recorded and then edited, but we shall see. So
you see on Wednesday?
Yeah, Wednesday.
You just took our slot and just made another show on it. Nice job. Well done. That it was your idea to go to Monday so you could hang out with Kent. We see how it is now.
You figured me out.
Yeah, it was his idea.
So used right now.
Again.
It's just going to be a single show.
Okay.
So. He said he wants to do a spotlight on me, and I'm like, dude, I'm really not that interesting.
That's what they all say. Just one time.
If they do a spotlight, just make sure they
get got me from the Nerds with Attitude. So yeah,
I know.
Great.
About it.
God,
Great.
Just breathe it in, man.
And also follow Ernie the Fallen Fett on Toy Migos when he's over there, when he gets back over there too. But Toy Migos is always up and running with Josh and everybody from the ROU and the Red 5 Network. So with that,
keep it nerdy. Oh, and there's